This is your girl, Paula J.
Hello, my name is Forrest D. Martin.
I thought you were going to start going by just Forrest D. Like, Billy D. Williams, but just no Williams, like,
Forrest D. like Chuck D. the Public Enemy.
yes, like that.
Mike D. from Beastie Boys. Heavy D.
Yes, Heavy D. Shout out to my boy, Have. Shout out to everybody up there in Mount Vernon, New Rochelle. How y'all handling this COVID? Good? Well, about the best you can, like the rest of us? Well, I'm going to attempt to make a commitment to Bible study more often. I had no idea y'all were over here on Patreon listening to it.
I had an idea. I kept saying, fuck YouTube. Let's just put the shit on Patreon. That's what I was saying.
Yes, he was saying that. So, this is today's Bible study. But you know what? I am going to ask for us to read yesterday's Bible study so we can clown ourselves. And I'm using the biblical we here. It's on you, Mr. Forrest D.
Luke chapter 21, verse 29. And he spoke to them a parable. Behold the fig tree and all the trees. Behold the fig tree and all the trees.
Now read my Bible study, please.
Okay, so that was the Bible verse.
Yes. That was the important thing. Now just read my Bible study from yesterday.
So you didn't want me to read the Bible. Just read.
Yes, I wanted to read the Bible.
Reading the Bible.
Really?
Okay, so I read it. Now this is your Bible study from yesterday. All right. All the trees before calendars were common things. People looked to trees to distinguish between the seasons. Summer brought a flourish or bloom. Winter, twigs. Fall's leaves wither and drop. Fig trees bloom in spring, like most of nature, and the people knew when to go.
Okay. Now, please read today's Bible verse first.
Okay.
This is called Bible study, not Paula J. Parker study.
All right.
There you go.
This is Luke 21:30. Because yesterday was what? 21:29.
That's how I work.
When they now shoot forth, you see and know of your own selves that summer is now near at hand.
Okay. Now, read what I wrote.
Okay. Summer, Jesus got specific for the Johnny-come-latelys like me. Fig trees bloom first in the spring and again in the summer with the rest of the trees. Jesus suggests they leave in summer. Spring would be too late. What took centuries to make would be destroyed in a day.
Now, what do you glean from that? I always like to start out asking Forrest what he gleans because he's not in my head like y'all aren't in my head. So it helps me to know what he gleans because then I kind of know where you guys might be thinking. Not necessarily, but I get a more general forecast.
What I glean from?
What did you glean from?
Well, I like trees.
Right.
I love trees. I love to smoke trees. When I say trees, I'm thinking the trees you smoke, not the trees you just walk around and see. Although I like the shade that a tree brings.
Mm-hmm.
I like fig Newtons. Fig Newtons are delicious because that's the fig trees that grow in the spring, right?
So let's start there. There's so many places I could start, but let all of you who aren't following my Bible study on Twitter, PJAI Parker, at PJAI Parker on Twitter and Instagram. And what am I here on Patreon? Looks like I'm Paula J. Parker on Patreon.
Yes.
Patreon. So right now we're in the place in Luke where Jesus is talking to his disciples about the fall of the temple and Jerusalem. So I'm always thinking to myself, are his disciples just dits? I mean, why do they not understand anything this man is saying? And it just really blows my mind until I fell into the Jesus trap. Jesus set you up to think one thing, then he hit you in the head with another. I mean, that is just how cold Jesus is. Let's break it down. Jesus said to us in Luke 21:30. Let's go back to Luke 21:29. I'm sorry. Jesus said to us in Luke 21:29, and he spoke to them a parable. Behold the fig tree and all the leaves. So, nigga like me and the disciples, we get on Wikipedia and we look up, when does the fig tree bloom? Say what?
Well,
What I look
listen,
up?
it starts with you saying, why are you calling the disciples ditzy and dense when Jesus is speaking in parables all the damn time?
Yes, but
So, I mean,
I
it's like,
speak in
man,
parables all the
just say
damn
it,
time.
Jesus. Jesus gonna tell us what you mean, man, right quick. Speak the parables to your congregation and the people we walk around and meet, but to us, to your boys right here, just spit it out. Let us know what you mean
But he is, and
in a
that's my
parable.
point. He
Oh,
is.
Jesus. Hey, y'all, they got to huddle up and shit. They got to all
That is
huddle
the
up in a
point.
circle
He wants you to think.
and
He
fucking figure
wants
the
you
shit
to
out.
use your
Like,
mind.
man, what Jesus talking about right
It
now?
would be easy to say, just go on and leave, blah, 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 on this day. He could have said that. But why would he? When you have to use your mind daily for your mind, for you to grow. So many people just follow along and not think as sheep because it's so easy to do. No one wants to put in the work of using your mind and figuring out what this man was saying. So, like the disciples, I looked up on Wikipedia and found out that the fig tree blooms in the spring. Guess what, y'all? I'd have been dead. Because in Luke 21:30, Jesus gets specific for ya. He says, and for you too, brother, who wants Jesus to just go on and spit it out. Because when it's necessary for Jesus to go on and spit it out, Jesus spits it out. He says, when they now shoot forth, you see and know of your own selves that summer is now near at hand. Okay, can I drop the mic? Can I drop the mic just for 5 seconds for ya? For y'all that want to know what it's saying, what it meaning. When it wants you to know what it's saying, what it meaning, he will tell you. So for those dum-dums like myself, who went on Wikipedia and said, okay, Wikipedia, when does the fig tree bloom? Let me go here.
The fact that you use Wikipedia as your source.
No, I just was Google. I put in Google, when does
okay, we'll say
the
Google.
okay, let me say fig
Wikipedia
tree. When does the fig tree bloom? On the right conditions, late September to early November. But the fig tree blooms twice a year. Once in the spring and a second time in the summer. So just in case we Johnny come lately spring people thought Jesus meant when it blooms in the spring, he gets a little more specific for you. And he lets you know that he was not referring to the spring. See, right here he said, behold the fig tree and all the trees. All the trees bloom in the summer. Work with me now. All the trees bloom in the summer. The fig tree blooms twice a year, in the spring and the summer. So he gives you a clue right here in 21:29 when he says, behold the fig tree and all the trees. Not just the fig tree when it blooms, but when all the trees bloom. But then he read my mind, Jesus. And he knew I told y'all it was going to bloom in the spring. So he followed it up. Y'all, I'm getting chills. And he said, when they now shoot forth, you see and know of your own selves that summer. Just in case you thought I meant in the spring, baby. And you will miss the boat. Honey, you going to miss the boat if you wait till spring. What comes first? Summer comes before spring, right? And how to go? No. What comes first? Spring. Not if you in June.
Spring comes before summer everywhere in the goddamn world.
Where do you start? Where are you starting?
In winter.
January. Okay, so winter.
And spring.
So first comes January, February. Then March, April, May is the spring. Then June, July, and August. So I'd have left a little early, right? I wouldn't have missed it.
Where are you going? What do you mean left? Where are you going?
Jesus is telling y'all when to leave.
Leave where?
Leave the country, because they about to blow it up. He is giving us clues on when you should leave, because it's about to be some shit go down.
And that's what I'm talking about. If the shit about to go down like that,
I bet you when the shit went down, not one Christian, not one converted Christian, nor disciple that was living was caught up in it. I bet you each and every one of them understood the message, the signs, the signals, and got the hoo-ha out.
All right. Okay.
So, when the second coming comes a second time, and third and fourth and fifth and second to seventh, second. Spring comes first. We could leave in the spring. I'd leave in the spring personally and set up shop. But
why
for
are we
those,
leaving again? I'm confused.
Cause they gonna blow up.
They?
Whoever the they in this specific situation.
What's the threat?
The they was the Romans, and the Romans flattened Jerusalem. So Jesus came to here so that God's people would live. God's people rejected him. They didn't want to hear none he had to say. They said, Jesus, you ain't Jesus. That man raped your mama in the bushes. And we know because he told us. And that's who your daddy is. That's who the Jews genuinely think some random vagabond raped Mary, and in the bushes, mind you. And I don't even remember the man's name. But that's who's supposed to be. But that
Joseph.
ain't. No, Joseph is the old man that married her and showed her love and had the dream knowing that they can say what they want to say. Because the devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. See, I got to make up my own songs because I ain't paying nobody to put no fancy songs in my stuff. So I just make up my own songs. So, yes, that's who is doing the flattening.
All right.
So just as Jesus said, exactly in the time that Jesus said, Jesus came here to tell them to leave. They're going to flatten us all. They would have genuinely taken out the entire Jewish race. Literally, they flattened it all and were told, just like there's no more Hawaiians, not pure bloods. There's so many races that you'll never know. Pygmies. All the Irish killed the Pygmies. St. Patrick. Stuck them in the ocean. Called them leprechauns. Because they had a lot of gold. So, yes, that is my message. Just to give a shout out to the disciples. And to all the disciples out there that are listening. It's okay if we don't understand in the moment. When the time comes, he will give you the answer. He might make you muddle over it a minute or two. But trust and know that when the time comes, you will know. It will be revealed. We love you out there.
Yes, we do. Make sure you tune in next time. God bless. Read up. Mask up. Smoke up.
Tell me I'm the only one.